Welcome to the second session of your math statistics learning for this week, year 2. And today we are going to be looking at comparing data. We're going to be looking at finding the sum, finding the total of data, and we're going to be looking at finding the difference between two different values of data. Now, I've put up here the symbols for comparing that we're really familiar with from year 2, and we looked at these last week or the week before. So we've got greater than, less than, and equals to. Those are our symbols for comparing, but we're also going to be asked to find the sum, which just means find the total. And we're also going to be asked to think about the difference. Now, that's the difference between two values. So, for example, if I was trying to find the difference between 7 and 13, I could do 13 subtract 7, or I could count on from 7 to 13 to get the answer 6. So, on to the first type of question we're going to look at today. So, we have got a bar chart, and it shows us the number of visitors in 1 week to a museum. Now, remember with bar charts, we're going to have to think about the axes. So on this horizontal axis, on the x-axis, we have got the days that people visited. And on the vertical axis, the x-axis, we've got the number of people. Now remember, think really carefully before we get started here about this bar chart. Okay, and particularly looking at that vertical axis, the number of visitors, what is the scale? Okay, we've looked at this already, we've thought about this in session 1. Interrogate the scale, what's it going up in? I'm going to leave you to think about that. So we're going to have to do some comparing here, and the question is asking us how many more visitors went to the museum on Tuesday than they did on Wednesday. So we're going to have to interrogate and interpret two parts of this bar chart. We're going to have to look at Tuesday, excuse me, and we're also going to have to look at Wednesday. Now I can see on Tuesday that I've got a big green bar here, and if I look at the top of the bar, and go along to the scale, I can work that out, and I need to do the same for Wednesday. And then I've got to think about what's the difference between the number of visitors on Monday and the number of visitors on Friday. So how many more and what's the difference are kind of the same question, but they're just written in a different way. So have a little think about those two. It's important that you look at the scale really carefully. I'm going to give you a top tip now. Look, that scale, it's important. Make sure you understand that really. It's going to help you. Okay, next type of question then is we've got another pictogram, and we've seen a pictogram that looked like this back in session 1, where the key for a whole square was 4 points. Oh, having a little bit of a trouble here with my shape. Sorry about that. I just wanted to help you with that a little bit more, because it's important that we understand that our pictogram can represent lots of other values. So we know that a whole square, when it's all shaded in, is 4 points. But I've broken my square up into quarters, into 4 equal parts here, and I can see that if half of it is shaded, that's going to be worth, wow, what is it going to be worth? What is half of 4? And then I'm just going to look at if I shade 3 parts of my shape so that it looks like this, and you'll be able to see this shape in the pictogram if you look carefully. What would the value of that be? If a whole one's 4, how many points would 3 parts of it be worth? So you're going to need to think about your key really carefully here. And here we're going to have to use these comparing symbols. This less than, greater than, or equals to. And we're going to compare the red team and how many points they scored, which we can see here. Okay, so we're going to have to work out each side of this before we can compare. And we've done this before. So we're going to have to find the total number of points for the red team. Well, I know from the key that a whole square is 4 points. And I'm going to have to compare that to the blue, but not just the blue, it's the blue and the green together. So I'm going to have to do something to those two values to find the total here of the blue team and the green team together before I can compare it with the red team. Okay. So I'm going to have to add them to find the total. Using those symbols, that's going to go in the middle there. So the red team, I know that's 4. I know that whole square is 4. I've got another one, that's 3 lots of 4, add 2 more. So 3 lots of 4 is 12, add 2 more is 14. I'm using my times table knowledge there. 3 times 4 is 12, add 2 more is 14. Now the blue one, well, I've got a whole square and I've got that really odd shape there. So I'm going to have to think about that. But I know the green, I know 2 times 4 is 8 and 2 more is 10. Then I'm going to have to think about that. So have a go at that and finish the rest of those off. Right, we've got another pictogram. So 2 children here. We've got Mo and Rosie, and they have been asked to find out how many hours of sunshine there are all together in these different countries. Now, the key here, remember it's important, so have a look at what the key represents, how much one sun, how many hours of sunshine one of those suns is equal to, is equivalent to. And we've got 5 different countries, and we've got the number of hours of sunshine for each of those different countries. Now, we're having to think about, Mo and Rosie have used 2 different methods here to calculate, and you've got to find out how many hours of sunshine there are all together in total for all of those countries. So Mo says that he can find out how many hours by adding up all the totals. So it says that, can you use Mo's method to calculate the total hours of sunshine? Okay. So that's how Mo does it. He's going to find out by adding up. And then Rosie says she's going to count how many sunshine symbols there are and multiply that by 3. So have a go at using Rosie's method as well, because you need to answer the question, which is, which method, is it Mo's method or Rosie's method that is more efficient here, that is the quickest for you? I'm going to leave it there for that one. So here we've got a table. And this table, we haven't got any pictures here for this data. We've just got a table. So it shows the number of men and the number of women this time who watch 3 different films. And we've got film A, film B and film C. So we haven't got a picture, so we're just going to have to interpret the table. Oh, okay, so our first job is complete the table. So we're going to have to think about completing all these empty spaces on this table. There's quite a few, isn't there? There's 5 there. Right, so let's have a think. Got my mathematical brain working. Got to complete this table, so I'm having a think. It's quite tricky, isn't it? So, how am I going to start this? What can I see already? What do I already know? Always ask myself those questions when I'm looking at a maths problem. How can I start? What do I already know? Well, I do know some things on this table. I've got the number of women that have watched film A, the number of women that have watched film B, and the number of women that have watched film C. So I could work out that total there by just adding those 3-digit numbers together. So I've got 3 3-digit numbers. I've got 364. I've got 411 and I've got 609. So I'm going to do myself a column addition. It's a little while since we've done one of these. So got to make sure I've lined my columns up. Oh, I can see a number bond to 10 there straight away that I can use. I know that's 10 and 4 more is 14. So that's 1, 10, 4 ones. Now I'm going to look at my tens column. So I've got 60, add 10 more is 70, add 10 more is 80. Okay. Now I've got another number bond to 10 here. And I've got another 3, so that's 13. Oh, I think I might have made a mistake there. I wonder if you can spot it. I might be right, I'm not sure. I'm going to let you be the teacher here and have a go. Have I got it right or have I got it wrong? Well, once I've got that total in there, I can add that to the other total next to it and I can find the overall total. So you're going to have to think carefully about the table to help you with that. Okay, I'm not going to do it all for you because I want you to think about it. It's a bit of a puzzly one. So have a go at that. I've definitely made a mistake in my adding up. So I'm going to see if you can spot what I've done wrong. I've thrown an extra little challenge in there for you. And then you need to finish the rest of that question. So the final one for this session then is we've got a bar chart, and this bar chart showing us the number of goals scored by 4 footballers, and we've got to use the clues here to complete the bar chart. So we're representing data this time. We're completing the chart. Now, remember, represent means drawing on. I can see the names of the 4 footballers. I've got Aisha, Huan, Niger and Tom. I can see the number of goals on that vertical axis. I've got to think about that scale though. What do I know? So interrogate that bar chart. Have a good look at it first. I know my footballers' names. I know the number of goals. But I'm going to have to think about, really carefully think about, this scale at the side. Okay. Look at it carefully. What do each of those little segments, each little increment, what are they worth? Is it worth 1? So if I start at 0 and count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, I get to 5 when I get to 10, so that's not right. So each of those little increments isn't 1, but what could it be? What is it? You're going to have to work that out first before you can start adding the data on to the table. Okay. I can see, I've given you a bit of a clue there by popping that in there. I've worked out that Huan has scored 8 goals. That may give you a little trick to work out your scale. And Aisha's scored twice as many goals. So Huan scored 8. Aisha's scored twice as many goals. So she's scored 2 times 8. So she's scored 16. How would you draw that on the bar chart? And we're really good at drawing bar charts. We've had lots of practice at this in science this year. And I know you would have practiced it in year 3 as well. Okay, so where would you draw your bar? So enjoy session 2. Come back for session 3, because session 3 is all about our new learning. It's all about looking at line graphs. So I'm really looking forward to doing that with you. So have fun with this one, and I'll see you for session 3. Bye.